Welcome again to Tom0AD Live. Today we've got a game between, let's hope this is going. In the blue we've got Friza, 1490, but that seems a little low for him. I think he's a better player than that. And either SaidRdz or SaidRdz, not really sure which. And I've got no idea whether he's a good player or not. He's someone that I've never seen before. So let's have a look, and we'll see he's drawn the Romans, and actually looking at they probably selected the Romans, each of them. That seems a bit more likely than they both conveniently drew the Romans. The map's pretty big for this. I know they did unknown land and normal, but this is a huge map for just two people. So Friza is using his skirmisher here to run around and check out what's going on, while he's basically just producing women only. He's got a bit of a gap here. He's producing two more women, so there you go. So I think he may well have been housed. Yeah, he is housed. So he's just getting another house built quickly, and in doing so he'll enable himself to build or enhance his population somewhat. I'm going to call him SaidRdz, or SaidRdz, I don't know. I'll decide on something that I think's catchy towards at some point during the game. So he's been really lucky to get these three massive trees here. Each of these trees is worth 400 wood, so he's got a lot of wood right there, which is really, really helpful. And we've got a similar wood, but we're not all quite next to each other there, but a slightly larger amount for Friza. So he's already transitioning to farms, which is interesting. We're only just over 2 minutes in, and he's started to make that way. He didn't get the berry upgrade, which has saved him some wood, which is useful. And is he housed again? He is housed. No, he's not housed, sorry. This is going to take another 12 seconds. These are going to take another 13. He's timed that absolutely beautifully. So take that back. He's not housed. And now that there's no more chickens around the CC for him to be gathering, he's sending off his cavalry to do a bit more skirmishing. There's some zebras in the middle of the map as well that he may want to take advantage of. Just check they are. Yeah, they are zebras. So yeah, it's similar. Their populations. SaidRdz is slightly ahead in terms of population, but he's only just transitioning. So you got a couple of idle swordsmen there. Let's have a look. Oh, they're doing something now. Wrong person. Yeah, he's got no one idle, but he's now transitioning properly, and he's getting his farms. But that is going to hit his food income for a short while. He's only got 10 food, so for him, that's probably he's left that a little bit too late for a smooth transition, because it does take a while to get your farms up and running and to get a reasonable amount of food going. And he's building another house, so he's getting a very, very nice wall of houses, very streamlined around there. Not sure about the location of this. What's it called? This storehouse looks like it's a little bit too far from each of those. Could he maybe put it over here where there's a few more available? I don't know. Difficult to say. It's always tricky. I really hate these sort of maps with these like long distances between the trees and no real sort of areas where you can actually get a reasonable amount of wood. You have to constantly be building storehouses. So although each of these trees is worth 400, in reality you probably need a storehouse for at least every 4 trees. So you're looking at only really having 375 available, which is frustrating. However, if you're playing as Ptolemies, you're laughing, because Ptolemies obviously don't require any wood to build houses. or storehouses. So this side of the map is set up for them. So looking at it at this point, Friza's slightly behind in population, but in terms of his economy it seems much better, I have to say. He's got better resources, although the fact that he has got so many resources I was bringing into question what's he spending it on. He needs to get moving. We've got a couple of swordsmen here, needs to be doing something. There's a storehouse, good location, right next to a tree, and another one not too far away. But he's really taken advantage of these trees. I always find when I play on this sort of map I get really what do you call it? Just very nervous about using wood. You find that you don't want to use wood if you can get away with it possibly. So anything that costs wood is really looked at in terms of, is it a useful, well, is it a good use of your resources? Okay, so he's building a barracks. That's good. That will expand his territory around, which will enable him to access this group of trees out here. There are a couple that would be available, and that would be very good for them. He's also started to produce. Let's have a look. He's got 10 skirmishers now. What do we have here in terms of skirmishers? Only 6, but 52 women, and that's one of the things that I often find that I find difficult to manage. Friza's moving well clear. Well, not well clear. He's only 5 clear in population, but his population is mostly women, which means if either side were to get some cavalry together and start rushing, it would be very difficult for them to maintain their economies. For the other person to maintain their economies, because it's set up to, at this point, very difficult to defend with only women. So what are they actually? Well, SaidRdz has seen a lot more of the map, but every time I think he's falling way behind, he then puts a batch in, so gets himself a bit closer. Friza's going to be right back. He's off to do something. I don't know what. He has walked around with his cavalry. So he's walked around the base once, which is pretty. He's seen relatively more reasonable amount of the map, and okay, let's see, when's he going to come back? Is he going to come back? He's got a slight lead, but they do appear to be quite evenly matched players in terms of population at this stage. I like the layout of Friza's like town. It's coming together quite nicely. He's starting to produce more women to get more farms. He hasn't got any upgrades. He's not got any upgrades whatsoever. So he's not spent any wood on upgrades, which is interesting. I suppose it's one of those things where is the 200 wood going to get you enough wood to justify the cost of 200 wood? It's a strange situation with these maps that you can find yourself in. You can see here that the flip side of that is that SaidRdz is producing skirmishers. He's managed to get himself housed just for a change. So he's now he's finding out that he needs to build a house. Is this a house that's going up? It's not. He really needs to build a house, and he is building not just one but 2 houses. So that is very useful. But in that time that he's managed to get himself housed, he's lost 20. He's lost in terms of ground on Friza. So Friza's population has increased dramatically in that time, and he really needs to start trying to claw that back, because at the moment it's looking quite grim. He's got 6 fields, which is probably sufficient at this stage, while Friza, however, has gone for 9 fields, so he is going to be producing food at a fantastic rate comparatively. No upgrades again, but what Friza's done very well is continue to make sure that he is producing houses at a rate which allows him to be constantly producing. And he's got 2 outlets to produce from now. I mean, both players do, but it's very important that you are constantly producing. And you can see here that it looks like he hadn't actually, I saw him changes the amount that he ordered in one, so he's not set the batch to 3, the batch is probably still set at 1, meaning that you just click through to however many are available. I'm not sure where these 3 skirmishers are going actually. Oh, they're going out here. That for me that's quite silly play. He could just be producing, get these guys, because once they produce they only have to walk a short distance and use those to carry on getting wood. It's not like he's not going to need wood, but you know, that's just my preference. I prefer to have my people, if he wasn't producing from here but he was only producing from here, then that makes even less sense. You want your people to be able to get there as soon as possible. Is he splitting it? He's not, so he's only producing skirmishers. One of the things that I like to do, and I can't say it was my idea, but it is, I watched it in a video somewhere and it was very, very good, is to split your 2 types of troops. So get a load of skirmishers, for instance, on the stone, and get your swordsmen, as they would be in this faction, on the metal, or vice versa, just so that once one is finished, you know, you can select all of them very, very easily. Or if you need to move them off because you've got, you know, an absolute mass of metal you don't need, then again you can just easily select all the guys that are on metal, move them off to collect wood or whatever it is, or to fight. He's running around the back of Friza's map here, and the gap has stayed at about 20, so he's not, Friza hasn't like really stamped his authority on it. He's got, yeah, sorry, I was going to say he's actually housed. Absolutely not housed. Yes, again, he has timed that beautifully. He does need to produce another house though, so he's going to need to get that going pretty shortly. Again, not gone for any upgrades, not taken that chance, and now he is housed. So is this going to be SaidRdz' chance to actually take advantage of that and potentially go there? So he's getting these, is for servants, which is the, yeah, he's getting the one for stone. So he wants to get a load of stone that will allow him to build some towers, and at some point in the future a fortress, but on top of that it will also give him the opportunity to build a temple, everything. So a useful resource, and it also, with Romans, I believe they have catapults, I'm pretty certain they do, and yeah, I'm sure they have catapults. Let's just pick up a person and see what it says. You can't look at it yet, but I'm sure they have catapults, and they also require stone. And I questioned why that was until I realised obviously they're just lobbing massive bits of stone, so it's pretty clear why. So looking at the populations now, you can see actually, while it looked for a second as though because Friza got house, there was a chance for SaidRdz to actually claw some population back, it's gone exactly the other way. He's now 40 behind, so this second barracks is meaning that he is working overtime, and with that additional barracks, you know, these guys are walking far too far. You should move those to be getting the wood from these trees that are closer to a storehouse. You know, there are lots of better located ones. This one particularly at the moment is not a good location. He's staying at phase 1, whereas we've now got SaidRdz is at phase 2 and is producing a market, which is going to be very, very important, because this map does have good mineral deposits. That's the one thing. So you're going to get lots of metal, lots of stone, and so on across the map, and you're going to need to be able to trade that, really. Also, with the map being so large, and the fact that the Romans can build entrenched army camps either in neutral or someone else's territory, that means that also he might be able to set up a lucrative trade route which could keep him in wood, which would be very, very helpful, because it's just a nightmare trying to get a decent supply, like regular supply of wood on these maps. So Friza's just come to the town phase. He's now getting his SaidRdz is getting his a collection of buildings ready to take him through to the next phase, and you can see he's already bartering food for wood. He's got the 9 farms now. If he were to get some additional farms, the thing is he'll just crash the market for food. You can already see that it's going to buy 69, now it's going to buy 57 wood because the more that he buys. So in this sort of map it is good to be the person that gets in there first because you get the better prices, and it's now going to get worse prices if Friza were to attempt to do it because he's not yet done any bartering. So good play from SaidRdz there. We've got, see, a tower going up over here, we've got a temple going up here. He's got another barracks, which means that he's now starting to produce spearmen. So they're going to be good against cavalry. He's producing them by large amounts, and he's increased the gap to almost 70 now. I mean, it's looking grim for SaidRdz, to be honest. But if he's able to get himself to phase 3, sorry, ahead of him, and maybe get some siege weapons in before Friza's able to properly defend himself, then that really is going to be his only hope at this point. He's going to, looking at things, I think he could do with taking advantage of the map, getting some more people on the mineral deposits, get some more stone, get some more metal. He's got plenty of opportunity to do those things. He's still only got, I think, one. Yeah, it looks like he's still only got 1 barracks, and producing from 1 barracks is not going to be sufficient for him to get to keep up in terms of population. So the gap, it's still it's now just over 70. It was just under 70 previously, but he's producing. There you go, 2. He's in groups of 2. He's still producing skirmishers from the centre, so he's going to have a large population. I'm surprised that she's not gone for swordsmen. They're very, very good anti, unless he's thinking that SaidRdz is going to come in with a cavalry rush. It doesn't make sense to make so many spearmen, because the spearmen are going to be a good anti-cavalry, but realistically, is he going to? Well, I don't know. Looking at things, he's not going to come in with a lot of cavalry. Friza's just said bad play. I'm not sure what he means by that. Bad play from himself, or has he seen something? He's only got a limited view of the map. I think he's realised that he didn't build sufficient things. So yeah, I think he thought he had one, but also building a market should really be the first building you build, not the last, because for exactly the reason I just described earlier, you want to be able to first one to get in and get trading at the best prices, and also you get a chance then to spend some money on some of the upgrades there that will net you additional additional resources when you do your trading, if you set up a trade route. So we've got a fortress going up right at the front here. There's still a long distance between the two. This makes sense from Friza. It's not Friza at all, it's Friza. He's trying to expand his territory out towards the centre, but what is happening is we've got another barracks going up, we've got skirmishers coming, and he's not producing from the civic centre though, which he really should be. He's got a lot of ground to make up, so to only have 194 population after 17, I mean, a lot of that in Venice is due to the map, but that's still a really poor. Actually, that sounds really harsh. It's just not at the level that he would want to be. He hasn't got enough troops. That said, what he does have now is the opportunity. As I said, he's got these catapults, and that will be very, very useful. So the catapults will come with using the stone. Looking at his resources, there's plenty of stone there. He's also got plenty of metal, so he's in good position to make lots of siege. That said, I would have expected rams to come out first, because it just gives you that additional they're just far easier to use, shall we say. So he's got his soldiers here. Unfortunately, they are attacking zebras, which isn't that useful. He's got plenty of food, and he certainly doesn't want to be wasting his soldiers. They will gather food very, very slowly when they could be building this fortress, which is a much, much more important thing in terms of that. So he has got now about 48 people doing nothing of any use, which is not very good. Where are these? So the catapults are out. He's building another 2. What you can do with catapults, I suppose, if you can try and get them to actually cover one another. So if you get one group of catapults in a position, a little bit further back from the front line, as long as they can hit the same distance as the catapults that are in front that are going to be launching at things like this centre or this fortress, then as people send in sword cavalry or troops to try and attack the catapults that are behind them will be able to attack those people doing the attacking and kill them off before the catapults get a chance. So we're now, okay, this is interesting, we're starting to see the thing. He's just coming into view. He's running some people around the side. And why are these swordsmen not getting involved? They're just allowing it to happen, and now finally they're not. So that was good play from Friza, but it's not that many skirmishers. He could actually take those skirmishers out quite easily. I don't know why he's running away here. Oh, because he's bringing in a hell of a lot more people, and he's going to absolutely massacre those skirmishers. Okay, fair play. Done well there. Killed the entrenched military colony, but we can see coming around the side here we've got entrenched army camp and a civic centre. So the entrenched army camp will allow him to produce rams. These guys are still going around the side. Got a group of skirmishers there that are going to be attacked. He's doing a good job. This is what Friza is very, very good at. Launching multiple attacks. I've had games against him where I felt like I was in control and perhaps even on top of the game. And wherever you look, it turns out that he's attacking somewhere else. So this, he's killed all that. So SaidRdz is now, or is that Friza? SaidRdz or Friza, or both, are now killing off women because they are just taking up space in the population and they need soldiers. They've managed to defend that off. This is a large group of soldiers here. This army camp, once it's finished, will be able to produce rams. Oh, it produces all siege weapons, so that would be very, very, very helpful. But what he needs is, if he can't, well, the hero cavalry swordsman needs to take out. He's got 6 catapults there. If they're good, then those catapults can take out this fortress here prior to the fortress actually. He's got 2 minutes to do it, basically, and it's a case of can he do that before? Can he kill off the hero? It looks like he'll be able to. The hero's going down in a second now. Yep. So there are a large number of catapults left. Okay. Now, I'm not sure how quickly this is going to be done, whether it will be sufficient. What's happening down here? Here, coming in again, he's probably, yeah, he's got a load of rams coming. Very, very simple but effective. This is good play. Using this catapult, it will absolutely massacre melee troops. I just had a couple more. That's the only problem I'd say. So I haven't actually got that many catapults. What's this? Okay, he's trying to take it over. He's got a hero on it as well. If he can get this, then that is a game changer. I do like that expression. So he needs to stop them from firing because they're going to knock it down. No, they need to stop. It's going to be too late. Okay, they could do with garrisoning that. They do need to garrison that. Okay, is he now? Can he get these guys garrisoned? in the fortress before it's too late. And that's really very, very useful. If this needs to get this repaired and garrisoned. Okay, it's garrisoned with 5 people. Now he's starting to see if he can launch a better attack. Look, this small group of people, everyone here. Okay, well, he's just brought them back out just to come under attack, whereas they were nicely garrisoned away. Here come the rams. Does he have anyone back that can actually stop these rams, I wonder? He's focused quite heavily on that. He's got people coming in from both sides. They need to get someone stopping the rams. He needs some swordsmen badly. And he's got 2. That's not good enough, frankly. He's in real trouble. Luckily for him, the rams are focusing on houses, which isn't actually a particular issue. He needs these women to start attacking the rams, because the women can actually do a reasonable job of taking out rams, and he's got lots of them around garrisoned, and they're just... oh, here they go, they're jumping out to do that just now. Right now, so he needs to get a group of these attacking the rams, and then another group rebuilding the civic centre as quickly as possible. How many blue guys are there? There's still plenty of them. He's managed to get good locations there. This one's going out, but it's not done. Okay, so now he's got no civic centre. He's got a fortress here. What's going to happen? This almost looks like they could end up swapping places. It's going to be interesting to see how he recovers from that. I mean, this is the thing with... he needs to get rid of these rams and these soldiers. There are still 23 skirmishers there, and the skirmishers are continuing to cause problems. Right. So if he doesn't sort this out, his population is down at 142. So he's 100 down on that, but he can't... well, these have gone to Gaia. Oh, it's left that far too late. If he doesn't kill these skirmishers, then there's no point trying to build this civic centre, because what value is it going to have? And Friza's resigned. My word. He was just about... well, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can't believe he just resigned that. Yes, his civic centre was going to go down, but he'd just taken out the other civic centre. And SaidRdz didn't have... everything was Gaia, so he couldn't produce any more... did he? Yeah. He didn't even have any barracks. He was just going to kill these 37 women, and then that's the end. Whereas Friza had another civic centre over here. Oh, Friza's... that is... mind-blowing. Shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Fascinating game though. So cheers for watching, and see you soon.